And here we are again in Anthem, a ground level perspective of the game. This is a series of videos that I'm going to be doing um, within the Anthem game to show how I play the game. It's a continuation of a previous video that I did, and it'll just be a series to kind of show how I enjoy the game, some of the things that I encounter, um, reactions of some degree if that happens to occur. Um, so I've been playing with my previous video was with the interceptor javelin and showing some of its mobility. The interceptor is by far, for me and the style that I play, the best to kind of um, show off playing Anthem at a ground level. Um, just because its ability to traverse vertically, its triple dash, its triple jump, it makes navigating the world relatively easy. And if you look at a previous video, and I might throw in a little bit of javelin in this video as well, but we're going to switch javelins today and try to navigate the world using a javelin that doesn't have as much mobility um, as the interceptor. Alright, so let's go into the forge, go into the javelin, and we'll jump over to... Alright, so we started with interceptor. Let's try the beast. Wherever the Colossus can go, just about any javelin could go. It is pretty much a heavy beast of a machine, and if it can climb a mountain, then the Ranger, the Interceptor, and the Storm can do the same thing. So I don't really know if I want to change anything. I kind of like the combination that I've got, and I'm not too worried about getting legendary stuff or making the Javelin a legendary just yet. So I think we'll just keep it like that. I'm primarily in this for exploration purposes and to kind of show how I get through the world. And I'm going to learn how to do that with the Colossus. I think primarily the way that most people play is flying around and doing everything. That's a previous video that I showed, but I'll kind of repeat it as I lead into play. I do most of my Anthem play through Grandmaster 1 in free play if I want to increase the small algorithm for legendaries, which is the highest tier stuff. I'll probably jump into GM2, but I'm not too worried about it. So I'll throw in my basic consumables, armor sigil, combo sigil, and gear sigil. I want to be able to recharge at a relatively fast rate. Let's see here. Alright, so back in free play. Yep, want to start there. Alright, got my 3 consumables. I'm on Grandmaster 1. And that's just so that I can quickly get through some of the faction stuff as well. And there might be some Cataclysm Pre Event in here. I noticed that it was in yesterday or earlier this morning when I was streaming. So if it happens to be in this one, that's cool too. I'll probably stream for about an hour, and we'll see how it goes. I'll jump into my live stream on my YouTube so that I can answer any comments that might drop. I know I don't get a lot of views while I'm live streaming, but I usually get a couple of views afterwards. Turn down my volume. Gizmo the kitty is back. What's up, Gizmo? Number of people that play this actively. It's probably not a massive amount of people. I think a lot of people mostly are playing right now on PC because PC has the Cataclysm public test server, so they got a little bit more access to the newest stuff that's coming out. Um, Anthem had, a big spike when it was released, a lot of hype, a lot of things that people were expecting didn't quite live up to that. Those expectations and those those perceptions of value. So some people jumped out. They were complaining primarily about the highest tiered loot wasn't dropping fast enough, so and that the game didn't quite live up to what was advertised in an E3 trailer. So I don't know the exact number of people playing, but there's a good number of people that are streaming on Twitch, which I can't seem to figure out how to. I don't have a good streaming setup. I don't have a PC. I don't have a capture card. I don't have a good way to get it through my PS4 Pro, even though I do have that option. And I've linked my YouTube account and my Twitch account to my PS4, but it just doesn't seem to, when I go live stream in Twitch, it doesn't pop up in my account showing that I'm streaming. And then when I search for Anthem or when I try to search for my stream, it doesn't seem to pop up. So I don't have a lot of investment in streaming tools. So we can see that the Cataclysm Pre Event stuff has sort of started on consoles, so they're slowly starting to roll it out. I'm thinking probably Tuesday we might actually get a little bit more. But yeah, to kind of finalize your question, Gizmo, there's a good amount of people that are streaming very frequently. Skizzy Red, I think, is a pretty common individual. Trying to think of Wolf. That's like half of his name on Twitch. But all right, so primarily what I do is I just navigate the world without flying, and just sort of a primer. Imagine if the game Anthem was designed with player progression, kind of linked a little bit more to how players navigate. When Anthem was initially being developed, it didn't have the ability to fly like here we can fly. For anybody who doesn't know about this game, you can hover, but imagine if those things were taken away at the very beginning stages, and I was saying from maybe level 1 to level 15, and then level 15 to 20, and then upwards of that. Just imagine if you try to navigate the world without the ability to fly. So the game was designed with fairly well for you to be able to navigate on the ground, so that's kind of how I play. Grenades don't they ricochet. So Warframe, I'd say Warframe is it's much more fleshed out, and a lot of people play Warframe, and it's a good game. And it's free to play. There's no need to spend any money to get into Warframe unless you're wanting sort of the liveries or the skins or some of the collectible kind of stuff. But I would say Warframe, I think, is even on a grander scale, and they've shown a lot of updates that are coming. I think they're even calling, what is it called, the Star Jack, or some kind of ship that you're now able to get. So I haven't played a lot of Warframe. I do like the look of it, and I do like how it's changed, but I haven't played a lot of it. It is a good game, though. I mean, I think anything that's free is relatively easy to have a high proliferation in, so a lot of people have tried it out. Imagine if Anthem was free to play, it probably would have been received maybe a little bit better. I mean, everybody wants things for free, and that's understandable. That's a good marketing strategy. The cheaper it is, the more people are likely to play it, and the more chances that you'll have for them to spend a smaller amount of money. And if you have a free game, you're probably going to have a good chunk of people, and if your game is good, then they'll give you a little bit of money. Whereas this people felt a little burned that they paid $60 for a game that they felt was not 100% complete, had a lot of bugs. So this is some of the new stuff. It's not a big leap. Again, this is all pre-event stuff. I'm not actually in a Cataclysm.
That's what's caused the Dominion trouble. They're alive, but frozen. The crystals are stirring up the wildlife. Brutes headed your way.
Yeah, my interceptor is much better in melee combat. I've got my I've got a helper.
Get ready for more trouble.
My Colossus is more of a, I think, a combo kind of a guy. If I do, so down at the bottom you can see some of my primers, my R1, sorry, my L1 primes, and then I follow up with sort of some of the other stuff. So, and I freeze them at the same time. So, you know, I'll freeze them, just walk around, freeze everybody, and then hit them with a good melee or an R1, and that'll take them out. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to get these guys because they have new shields on. Might have to use my ultimate here to save myself. Oh, and he killed him. Yeah, but I mean, aside from Warframe, I think what Anthem has is its mobility options for players. I think the ability to fly is probably what it has over other looter shooters like Destiny, like Warframe. And it is a beautiful looking game. It is a very beautiful looking game. But I think if you're comparing it to Warframe, I mean, Warframe has its goods. It has things that Anthem doesn't do. It has things that Destiny doesn't do. So I think this is one of the, like, this gate should open, and then I get to jump in there to do things. You can fly in Warframe. Yeah, so I guess it's like an exosuit that you get, right? Is it, do you fly in the, I don't think you fly in the, like when you're on planet, but you actually fly in space, I think it is. And I think you can transition between those two as well. And those are updates that came, you know, over time. I'm pretty sure that Warframe didn't start with the ability to fly. That was just something that was added later. I mean, if Anthem was given a chance, I mean, if BioWare, you know, sticks to their guns and continues to support, then I'm sure there's a lot of cool things that could be added to the game over time. It just depends on what kind of support it gets on both ends, from players and from the developers. Oh, but I did see a previous, I don't know if it was a con, Warframe con. I don't know if it was a con at all, but they did a panel for Warframe showing the new ships, like that. I guess you can actually hijack spaceships, and I saw how players could fly around and fly between ships, and they could actually have sort of this man cannon that you would shoot between your ship and another ship to, you know, board it. All right, so I'm back here at an area that I was at before for the interceptor, and I was able to pretty easily get up here because of its triple jump. I don't think I'm going to get that kind of mobility with the Colossus. I mean, I'll try. I know that the Colossus has sort of a good high vertical jump, and the second one gives him a little bit more boost. So I may be able to traverse. I'm pretty much trying to show that if I want to get up to higher elevations, can the Javelins do it based on just the game geometry and without having to hover and without having to go into flight mode. Let's see. So I know this area space here. So this is what I was doing yesterday with the interceptor, and it looks like the Colossus can get up here as well. And there's a couple of sort of standard areas that I've tried to test myself on, and so I've shown that I can traverse the area with a Colossus up here without having to fly. So that's pretty cool. But obviously, if you want to get around the world in just about any place when you're grounded like this, the Interceptor is probably the way to go. But I mean, if the Colossus can get in an area, you're not going to have an issue with the other three. And this is pretty much how I play the game. I enjoy just walking at ground level and finding things this way versus just flying around all the time. So I'll try to see if I can find some actual Cataclysm stuff. I'm not sure 100% how it works yet. Like the story elements aren't attached to the game yet either. I know there has been new cinematics created for the Cataclysm. I have already experienced inside Fort Tarsus. Faye had a new description, so there's another gate that might open. So there's definitely new enemies that have been populating in the game, and then some of the those gates that possibly open up. And when I jump into the game, I often hear the other javelins that are in Bastion. It sounds like going into gates. I got to get back into my the way I do combos with the Colossus. So I'll shock guys, which freezes them. Then I'll go into hitting him with the trigger, the primer and the exploder, sorry. Yeah, so Kitty, have you been, I don't know if you prefer to be called Gizmo or Kitty, but I guess since the name is Gizmo, I'll say Gizmo. Have you been playing Warframe recently? What are you playing? I know you were jumping in on my Mortal Kombat 11 coin spending spree. I don't know if I asked you what games that you were playing. Yeah, so these are some of the new enemies.
The ship energy in this storm brewing above us is strange.
Hey, I got a cool looking skin. That won't last. Yeah, so I also get, with this gun, I also get, if I get consecutive hits, it'll prime them, as long as their shields aren't on. A Thunder Fang. Yeah, before I had a Gatling gun with the Colossus, but I've sort of got this, and I might have gotten rid of my acid primer, because it doesn't look like I'm priming anything with weapons now. I used to have it's not necessarily called gear, but I used to have a gear slot that I would have that gave my weapons, if I had consecutive hits, it would prime them with acid, and then I would follow up with my R1 shot, and I could just kind of do that repeatedly. So I'm pretty sure I don't try to destroy this thing. And it's not showing me that this is an event of any kind right now. Yeah, I think I should get back to my Gatling gun. So, I mean, this is how I prefer to play Anthem. Just staying on the ground level. The perspective of the world changes. I encounter more, and I get more wildlife attacks. I've actually had a Teslar drop a legendary gear once. So, I mean, I try not to pass anything up. Alright, so this is a world event for, I guess, crystals. Let's see if this gets me anything. Crystal harvest.
We might not be the only ones gathering crystals. Be on guard.
And I know this is one of the challenges that are available, and I'll kind of show those off later. I like how when I blow it up, it gets bigger. I think these are easier to destroy with melee. Definitely easier with the interceptor. So I need to freeze all these guys, and then hit them, and then they usually do a combo. I need to get one of my gear slots actually reloads my gear R1 whenever I explode a primer. I might need to turn that back on. But I mean, this is my best setup for the Colossus because I can get in close, freeze a large group of enemies that may start to swarm me, and then once they're all gathered around me and they're frozen, they're primed. Like these, I've got 3 guys here, or 4 guys, so I should be able to hit this, freeze pretty much all of them. They're all primed. I hit them, and then they combo off of each other. So that's how I like to play the Colossus. I'm pretty sure that's what other people do as well. Alright, let's get back to this guy and try to... Yeah, I think melee is definitely the way to go. And I gotta be careful because it freezes me whenever it... I think they're just spawning from the crystal that I'm not destroying. So I probably need to get over here. I've never seen so many brutes though, that's pretty cool. And also my melee explodes a primer as well. I just stand over here and let them come to me. And this probably wouldn't be as effective if I was in GM2. I probably wouldn't be killing them as easily. Yeah, just come right into my freezing... Alright, those are those 2. So I've got 2 ways. I could let him get in close and then hit him with my R1, which I've got 2 shots of that. If I ever miss a shot, I can hit him with melee. If my melee misses, then by that time my R1 is charged up again. So, and it's all close combat. It really saves me. And plus, since they're all close, once I kill them, then whatever they drop I pick up. It heals me or reloads my weapons. So it's been pretty effective. And plus I've got, this shield that I can deploy and just run and mow people down. bling, bling. So again, I'm trying to, and I'll kind of repeat myself as maybe some people jump in, but I don't think anybody else has jumped in. Anybody that might fast forward and not have heard the beginning of the video. Just staying on the ground, trying not to fly or hover, unless I absolutely have to save myself. Forgot I can't freeze them unless their shields are down. I can freeze just about everybody else. A nice, peaceful walk through Bastion. Yeah, I've got a long way to go for Champion of Tarsus. Alright, so seeing some of the, like even this area, it feels to me they designed the game and the level and Bastion with the ability of people to traverse at ground level fairly easily. And it's pretty apparent with looking at some of the areas, a lot of areas, if you're trying to get at a higher level, have ramps. So I mean, if it was strictly all about flying, then you probably wouldn't have this ramp that pretty much climbs up this this waterfall to the inside of the waterfall and then up that cliff. And there's a lot of obvious attention to those abilities for players to traverse in ways other than flying. So that's why I think it would be cool if, you know, at the lower levels, you know, you have to start out traversing the world this way versus flying everywhere. Takes a little bit more time, but imagine how more rewarding and valuable getting your jets and the ability to fly, how more rewarding that would have been, I guess, if by the time you got to maybe level 25, and then, or let's say, because I think I was saying level 20 you would get the ability to hover, and then level 30 you would get the ability to fly. Maybe that would turn people off too much, so maybe level 10 you get the ability to hover, and then level 20 you finally get the ability to fly, and then for the next 10 levels you're kind of exploring Bastion in a completely different way. I'm not sure what these bursts are. It's definitely cool looking. Yeah, I'm imagining it's probably going to be Tuesday when we get to jump in. The console guys will get to jump into the Cataclysm. But I've heard that even these gates will open up. So if I go into my challenges, Echoes of Reality is a new one, and then completed challenges. Rock Collector, let's see what that is. I've already done that one, so I got 500 coin. Complete any Crystal World events. I did that already. Oncoming Storm. Crystal World events complete. So I don't know if I'm considered in the Crystal World. I haven't gone in any. So, and it's saying that I've completed 8. So I'm imagining that world events are within Bastion, and if it's a Crystal type of world event. And I don't know if all the world events are focused around the crystal stuff as we're leading up to the Cataclysm. But yeah, I'm already showing progression in those areas, and I haven't like jumped into the portal or to the area. daily rock breaker. Destroy crystals scattered throughout Bastion. Yep, I've been doing that. So let's just find crystals. Staying on ground level. Let's try to go to the south, and we'll go to the, what is that place called? Ruins of Shadowmark. Nope, not Ruins of Shadowmark. Let's go Emerald Abyss. We haven't been up to the Ruins of Shadowmark in a while. Let's go over that way. Alright, so up to the northwest. Northwest. So back over that way. I mean, a lot of these, this geometry is probably not visited all that often. We'll go over there to the Ruins of Shadowmark. Again, I'm just going to kind of join into fights as I come across them. I mean, if I was flying around, I probably wouldn't... I'd probably bypass this, or... I mean, I've got these new icons here that shows there's one of these guys is guaranteed to drop some type of loot. Ooh, Ice Stalker. Yeah, some of the enemies have all changed. They don't seem to be completely frozen, however affected, but not frozen, because I guess they are that type of enemy. They are ice. Had a little bit of an arc there from another enemy to help me out with a combo. Missed that one. One thing that the Colossus doesn't do is dash. So I can't like get in and out of areas very easily. Combo. Might have to use my ultimate here. My health is pretty low. Gotta watch my health pretty closely here. Pick up this health pack. Maybe if I don't get pushed by this brute. Alright, brute's in my way. And we'll get the brute out of the way. Goodbye, brute. Goodbye, a bunch of scorpions. Anyone else? Alright. Had to do that before I died. I used the ultimate a lot more. And also, alright, let's get in the middle of these guys and freeze them all. So melees seem to give me more ultimate charges than weapon kills, or a larger amount of it. I don't know if that's a gear setup that I've got. I'll have to check. Oh man, these guys are freezing the crap out of me. Nice jump from the scorpion. I could also just do this. I'm starting to get overwhelmed by a large number of these guys. Just roll around this way. Run into them. Freeze them. Shoot them. Seeing a little bit of a sort of a glitch with this, the freeze animation. When I get frozen, sometimes it seems like it glitches. See, I'm getting a little bit of a jagged sort of lag. Got a little bit of a help from Bobby. Bobby Rocks? No, Bobby Rocks. Now I know the intentions of Anthem are for people to play it flying around, but like I said, I try to stay grounded. If I'm done with an encounter like this, I don't just fly away. I stay on the ground level. I use the geometry. Like instead of going from here and jumping and flying up to the top, if I wanted to get there, I actually find a way to get up there by just walking and jumping. These guys are fairly susceptible to melee. It is taking away some of my shielding, but that'll recharge over time. Put it away and let it recharge. Alright, let's go over to the northwest. Now, one thing I would like to see over time, if Anthem gets... I don't know how possible it is. It's probably not possible. That would be a pretty large update to be able to, increase the size of the world. They could have easily. I mean, it's possible. I mean, we have the technology, and maybe it'll be easier in the next generation of consoles in 2020. I imagine they're talking about developing Anthem 2. I mean, it has a great set of tools in parts of lore and parts of the way combat works really well. The way that traversal is really entertaining, and the world looks very beautiful. I imagine they're talking about Anthem 2, how they can improve. People want them to rebuild this game from the ground up, and instead of doing that, just and I think they want that because they feel, oh, I paid my $60, I don't feel like I got my value's worth, and that value perception is going to be skewed based on people's understanding of how the gaming industry works. My value perception is going to be different from somebody else's. I think that we can do it a little more civilized when we're asking for fixes versus giving BioWare employees death threats and demanding that they be shut down because their value perception of the product doesn't meet that expectation or that perception. But I think it would be awesome if they updated the game and then we could fly off into the distance here into the in the background. Alright, so we said that we're going to go northwest. Let's move to the northwest. I get a little bit distracted. And I'm going to be harvest mineral. Yeah, I agree that like master work embers for completing certain challenges isn't the best reward. So it looks like they're giving us coin for a lot of the things that we do now. So I'm hoping that sticks around. Yeah, it looks like when I pound the ground, it actually gets some of the guys up there in the sky as well, if they're hovering. I think sometimes also when I'm getting frozen, it doesn't show, or it doesn't. Sometimes I'll feel like I'm frozen, but it doesn't show that I'm frozen. So that's definitely a bug they can work on. Yeah, you don't want to come towards me. I like how the combos arc out. It's not just the person that the enemy that you hit. So I could, jump up there and fly out of here. I don't think I can get enough vertical jump to get up that high unless I can land on that, but no. So, I mean, it just shows if I was a level 1 to a level, we'll call it level 10, then I wouldn't be able to just jump and fly away. I have to go towards the outside and traverse the world differently for a while until I level up. I think that would just be an interesting way of making the flying and the hovering more of a valuable reward for players that level up in the game. And these guys are really good at freezing me as well. Yeah, they're doing a really good job of freezing me. Yeah, see, I'm frozen right now, but it doesn't show that I'm frozen. Yeah, even that electricity damage is pretty powerful. Sometimes I don't even need to execute the exploding primer before the electricity damage kills them off. But that combo is very powerful, especially with the increase in 30% sigil that I have in there. Yeah, when I play Anthem, I don't do strongholds over and over again. I may do them to satisfy the daily, weekly, monthly challenge requirement, but I won't sit there and just spam it, as I'm not too worried about focusing just on legendary, grabbing legendary loot. I'm focused on kind of enjoying the world, playing around in it. And I don't like the, I think I need to say that differently. I prefer being able to jump into a game and just kind of let it be persistent versus being in a stronghold or a contract or an agent mission that once you complete it, you get kind of kicked out of the world. I would like it if, I mean, I know that the strongholds are sort of a separation from Bastion, which I wish they weren't separated. I wish they were within the actual Bastion world. But I would like it if, you know, you finished a stronghold and then you could decide to stay within the world without, you know, logging back out, you know, finishing the expedition and then collecting your loot. And then, I mean, they've improved that system by allowing us to just jump right back into another mission. So they made that a little bit better without having to go back to back to Fort Tarsus. So it's gotten better, absolutely. They've done a lot to improve quality of life. All right, so this is the ruins of Shadowmark. See, I'm frozen right now, but it doesn't show that I'm frozen. So we need to work on that. Trying my best not to click R3 or L3 in a jump. Sometimes this electricity will do all the damage I need to kill everybody. So I can literally just walk through some of these enemies and they'll explode. I mean, obviously this only works on GM1. I still get some freezing of enemies in GM2, but it doesn't kill them outright. Like these guys, I could just walk around and this electricity could probably burn this guy to death. And then the residual stuff does the rest of it. Man, I've never been frozen so much. I mean, I do like this freezing ability. It really kind of slows down. Like, if I didn't have this freezing ability, this electrocution, one, I'd probably get overwhelmed because I can't dodge and get out of the way as easily with the Colossus. So this is really my go-to build. The ability to repel swarms of attackers. It slows their attacks. It freezes them. It keeps them in place. It usually kills them, and then it usually drops health to kind of get me back up where I need to be. In a safe place. Alright, so we are in the Ruins of Shadowmark. I got a friend over here. Fellow freelancer. X420 Prodigy. Let's move over here to the west. So looking around here, like how would I get up here? I could fly. That's the standard way. But can I jump from place to place over here? Let's see if I can. Yep, I definitely can. I could go over there to my left. I don't know if I can make it to that one, but I can definitely make it to this one behind me. Definitely make it there. Let's see if I can make it over here. Nope, can't because the... oh, might grab onto it. Nope. Alright, so let's go this way instead. Because I don't have a dash at all, like the other three javelins have. So I can't just dash over. But see, wouldn't that be cool? I mean, level 1s, this is what you have to learn to do. You have to traverse Bastion first before you can just zip by it in your jetpack. You know, I imagine myself as a rookie, and then the guys that have leveled up is like, "Come on, rookie, hurry up, get up here." "Yes, sir, I haven't learned to use or I haven't built my jetpack yet." Or gathered enough materials or whatever it is, however they would want to do it. It's definitely doable. I just think it's an extra layer of player learning and interaction with the world. So I could fly over there really quick, but okay, this way I have to approach these enemies. Are they attacking each other? No. So I've got storm elementals and mordant elementals. So it looks like electricity and possibly acid. But I think my electricity will... okay, so storm doesn't affect these guys. But that does... oh, a collectible. See, I haven't picked up all of these yet. I'm getting close. But I haven't gotten everything. So let's see how many I have left. I think I've got maybe pretty close to it. 30 and 50. Alright, so I've got 20 more to go. I wonder why they're not attacking me. Oh, they're poisoning me. But that doesn't really... I think they're not doing damage to me. But if I touch them... or do they have to attack me? Like, they're not doing much to me. Maybe they're sort of minions for those other electric guys that do attack. So do these guys attack me, or do they just electrocute me? It's like a pet. So the familiars would be cool things to have in this game. That would be a cool thing to add. I don't know if that's something that they could... it's definitely something that they're capable of doing. But let's say I could deploy an elemental. Let's say if I'm the storm, and I have... like the storm would have these drones that I could deploy, and then they just kind of stick with me. It's not an ultimate. It could just be... heck, I don't know, a new button. Because I have... like this does stuff, but pressing left on the directional pad does nothing. Oh, up does obviously this. Kind of wasted that. I'm not really in need of it right now. I'm not in the heat of battle. But left and right don't do anything right now. So you have those buttons. You could have those for deploying drones. For the Colossus, it could be drones that actually shoot. For the Storm, it could be sort of elemental drones. For the Interceptor, it could be shadows of the Interceptor. And for the Ranger, I'm not quite sure, but just a type of drone that you could deploy with the left and right D-pad. It could be a cool little addition. You know, call it a pet, call it a familiar, call it whatever you want to. I think that would be a pretty cool addition to have something that just sort of follows you around. Maybe the ranger could push left and right, and sentinels from drop down, and they kind of fight alongside him for a little bit, for a couple minutes even. I think that would be a really cool addition. Something to add. A lot of things that they could add to the game. So see, I'm frozen right now, but it doesn't give me the. I keep saying that over and over. But anytime you see me not moving around, but not showing sort of this ice covering over my javelin, I'm frozen. But where are you guys going? What are you guys gonna do? You gonna shoot me? Freeze me? Not frozen. I like that my melee detonates primers as well. I think that's the first time I've actually called it what it is. I keep calling it exploding primers, but I detonate a primer. You guys understand, I think. And those that are watching this right now that don't understand it, maybe I should have explained it before. And there's a lot of really good tutorials in the game to kind of show you what it is that you need, and I'll show those later, where you can go, read up on things that maybe you've overlooked. Maybe you just jumped into Anthem, because they're not holding your hand. They give you a little bit of information at the beginning of the game, which I still enjoy going and creating new pilots, which I'm glad that they added. The ability to start another pilot, but it keeps your faction standings. So Anthem, or Fort Tarsus, dynamically changes as your faction loyalties increase. So some of the layouts of Fort Tarsus change, but if you start a new pilot, it keeps your previous pilot faction standings, and I can't see the dynamic change that happens as much in Fort Tarsus with a brand new pilot. I wish I could start over from absolute scratch when I start a new pilot, but the faction standings, from what I've noticed, remain. But the story elements you can go through, and they have the legendary story missions, but which I wish they would let you pick and choose. But they don't, they're just sort of random. Yeah, it seems like I'm doing damage to enemies that are above me. Alright, I need to... Yeah, these guys, they just pop. I've never not been able to create this combo. I'm not having to wait very long to get charges. All right, there's another gate, portal, whatever. All right, so I could probably do a double jump and get across that. Maybe. I don't think I can, but I can definitely climb up that way. Ready and launch. Nope, I don't think I'll be able to jump over, but I can definitely go up and around that way. What's up, guys? So these guys were attacking me. Looks like there's somebody over there working on stuff. Let me get over there. likely don't need my help. But I'll make my way over. So see, it's obviously they created the world to be able to traverse without flying. Looks like they retained a lot of that. I have a lot of encounters here, especially for Dominion faction. Dominion faction challenge requirements. I'll come over here. So if I haven't kind of mentioned before, sort of in the northern areas, I've noticed there's more Dominion. In the southern sections, you'll start to get more more Scar, and then sporadically you'll get Outlaws. Oh, I thought that was a consumable or a collectible harvest. Boom. Electricity beats fire. Let's see, electricity's not going to do anything for these. These are frost guys. Electricity beats frost, but it doesn't beat everything. So with these ice crystal elements being sort of what the world is right now, what garden is this called? It's called some garden. Sunken Garden, I think. I think it's a sunken garden. This is a cool place. Jump down in there and there's an underground mine. I believe this is called the Sunken Garden. Yeah, Sunken Gardens. I'm on my way to kill you. Boom. They do freeze me. Alright, let's, alright, so I think I'll end this stream out. Let's see where I'm at with my clock. Alright, so I'm at 57 minutes right now. So I'll end the stream by making my way back up to Fort Tarsis, and you'll see how, I mean, it is possible to traverse most of the world, a massive chunk of it, without really having to fly at all. And then just being able to enjoy sort of the design of the of Bastion. So I know that I am relatively in the northwestern corner, and I'm at the Sunken Gardens. So I need to go. I know I need to go south. I need to go southwest to get back to Fort Tarsis. Murderer King, King Slayer was probably already taken. This guy's doing everything on his own. Doesn't need me. What's up? How are you?
Good to see you. Serious energy is coming from those formations. Shaper crystals.
I might get distracted a little bit.
Frozen. The crystals are stirring up the wildlife. Brutes headed your way.
I wonder if later cataclysms or storm pre-events. See, this is ice. I wonder if fire, acid. I don't know if water would be one of them.
Whoa! More crystal.
Surprise!
Yeah,
I said
those
surprise.
are breaking free, and they seem angry.
But I wonder if those will be some of the other ways that enemies are changed. Because you can see it's like most of the enemies now have this ability to freeze, and that's because of these crystals. I wonder if future cataclysms will be different elements. So make sure I'm still going relatively the right direction. I need to be going southwest. I think the S is kind of hidden in there somewhere. think it's hidden underneath one of those. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so I primarily need to be going this direction. I'll encounter things as I go, because why not? Alright, so these are Dominion, Elite Dominion Agent Trooper, Argent Trooper. I like these new backpacks they've got. Might as well just walk around this way. I don't know if I always kill them with one hits. It looks like I do kill some of them. Got a King Killer helping me out here. See if I can electrocute and freeze this guy. And combo, you are dead. Yeah, this is definitely easier because I'm in GM1, level 30. Almost a legendary javelin.
I think it's over. Collect some samples and let's move on.
What are we gonna get? Let's see what we get. I get some. Got an epic and some embers. Got one epic item. Oh, I think the. Oh, I was gonna try to get all the way back. Looks like the server might close. Yeah, they don't keep the servers open for very long. 'Cause I'm sure they're just testing some things. I'm pretty sure I wasn't kicked out. And this kind of happened to me yesterday. They closed the servers, but they're not giving people warnings, so I'm a little concerned about that. I mean, I'm sure that's something that they'll change as the full release. Of course, normally on consoles they don't do like test things, so I don't like that I'm being kicked out during a console play. I know the PC guys, I mean, they'll allow testing servers, but this isn't a test. This thing should be ready to go. It's unfortunate. It's not good, but I'm not going to try and bury BioWare. They're continuing to work on it. I'm sure they'll find this bug and fix it. But I'll probably get a warning saying that the server was closed. But I don't really know if it's even my internet connection, like I've mentioned before. I don't remember seeing a warning that said the server was going to close. Server has shut down. Or maybe I did see it and I just ignored it. I think maybe I did see at least one. Alright, I mean, that's okay. I can always jump back in. But I'm at an hour and 4 minutes, so I think I'll be finished for now. Thanks for watching. I'll definitely do more of these. I'll probably do another one today. I think the hour-long streams are a little bit easier than trying to stream for an entire day. I think I might even try and do a stream of where I'm currently at in some of my other games. What's up, Faye? I guess I could go down to the bar and see if there's anything there, because yesterday I noticed that Faye had a new prompt interaction. Let's see if Yarrow has anything. Anything new to say, Yarrow?
Freelancers proud, helping Sentinel Bryn with that scar business. We should be working together. It is the best way.
Yes, it is the best way. I kind of like how this area changed. Those that haven't played it, this is not how it looks when you start. This shrine changes. That whole space does. Please don't say anything about grilling.
pretty simple.
Ah,
And grill it.
dagger.
Not worth your trouble.
Yeah, I don't like that he says this a lot. He says that a lot. Sometimes if I walk away, they normally say some of the main characters will say something as I pass them, and it just triggers. If he says the same thing, I don't like that they haven't fixed that yet. You can,
Not loving the smell down here.
okay, at least that's a little bit different. Before he used to say that same grilling standards thing over and over again. Yeah, so these are the things I was talking about last time on these little pedestals here. These things used to have prompts that you could see exactly what it is. I know this is a mine. I think it's a scar mine. But if I wanted to see exactly what it is, you'd want to go into the library, right? Maybe go into some histories or technologies, Anthem of Creation, popular art, geography, no, recent entries. Your father's no answer, what it all means. Dominion, Intel Archive, those are all those things. Technology, archives, fog, javelins, links, radio, striders, signet crowns, and flares. Mice. Tales, miscellaneous. Scrolls, books, diaries, notes. Notes, maybe? Yeah, I wish some of these things would have pictures associated with it, but I did get a entry of some type. It was added to the codex. This would have a prompt. I think I've got maybe one or two that are still available to check out. I don't know, to try to give an example of what it is that I'm talking about, unless I've opened all of them. I just wish I would know exactly what this is. I'm not quite sure. I know these are tools of some sort. I just wish there would be a little pip there showing what it is that it is. I think I've mentioned those before on a tour through Fort Tarsus. I think I'm going to go over to the bar. I probably should have gone the other direction. It's okay going the long way. Come through here. Can't wait for this area over here to open up. I hope they do open it up. That's had a scaffolding on it pretty much the entire game. But Bastion does change, like this koi pond here. All this stuff is not working. There's not a lot of people when you start. But as you improve your standing as a freelancer and you change Bastion, the Chronicler
Let's get a few things straight.
and the
I like
Bard.
to cook, so I'll use the kitchen whenever I please. Second, I like to meditate, and I need candles and incense. Third,
Let me guess. You like to walk around in the moonlight.
you should be so lucky.
Madam Chronicler. Let's see how close I am to the Challenge of Might. I've probably got a long way to go still. Yeah, I'm working on Outlaw and Dominion. The Challenge of Might will then lead into the next one. And these two, the Bard tells some pretty good stories about these to meet these challenges. So those are pretty cool. I do enjoy the lore thoroughly for Anthem. There's definitely a lot of it. They said that they fixed these drapes in a recent patch. So if I walk up to these drapes, you'll see that they do kind of flutter, as if there's some wind going back, and the ones in the background this. But as I walk closer to it, the fluttering completely stops. I don't know exactly why. There's a tiny bit of it. I don't know if your eyes can catch it, but if I back away a little bit, it'll slowly start to flutter again. So you can kind of see it. I don't know if you can notice it, but there is some flutter in the animation. You kind of see it right there. And as I back away, the animation is accentuated even more. But as you get closer to it, that animation completely goes away. So that's kind of weird. Alright, so these are kind of randomized, the people that are kind of standing around here. These three aren't always standing there. Sometimes the bar owner will be standing here and I'll be able to converse with him or her. Just make sure I'm not missing anybody new. I do hope they focus a lot on Fort Tarsus with fleshing out some of the interactions that we can have in here. I hope they add more. Sometimes you'd have clandestine characters standing around, giving you sort of more story. more interactions to have, starting other missions. Not a lot. They definitely need to flesh this area out a little bit more. You know, make it more of a constant. Like he used to be a sort of a social interaction. This guy right here usually always says hi. Hey, freelancer's here. Not always then. Usually. Alright, so nothing new down in the bar. Hopefully there is some new stuff as the full Cataclysm comes and we start to see some of the new stuff that they're working on. We see a little bit of it. The server kind of closed while I was playing, but I think I was given a warning. I just ignored it. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'll probably do another one today. I enjoy doing these streams, at least to kind of show off how I play Anthem out in Bastion. So I appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot.